my goodness, Karen. I thank you so much for you being willing to talk to
My pleasure.
just anyone, the public, about your experience. And so, um, without going in further into exactly who you are, unless you wanted to share any of that information, suffice it to say that this is Karen. And Karen, you're about what age?
I turned 75 last year in
That's
September.
last year?
In September.
Okay, so all right, so about to this year we'll turn 76.
That's correct.
God willing, and thank you for being authentic and willing to share that, because that's exactly why this conversation is so important. You recently had an issue with a scammer,
Yes.
and I thought, wow, I mean, let's just go ahead and let others know about your experience, if you don't mind. And thank you for your willingness to do that, because it's something that I care about so much, and just to know that it happened to someone that I admire, love, and I'm supposed to be here to protect. It was definitely, it's a powerful story. And I think that your willingness to share this with others may help somebody, so that they don't see the same thing. So if you don't mind, can you kind of just walk me back to, where were you the day that this happened?
Well, it was November 19th of last year. I had been working on my
2025.
2025.
Okay.
I had been working on my computer, specifically looking at my bank accounts, because I try to monitor those very closely because of scams. And so for some situation, I'm not entirely sure what, I moused over something on my laptop, and this big black, orange, yellow Windows, you have been infected with virus, Windows popped up, and there was this really strident, screeching alarm that kept going off, and there was a voice on it that said, do not turn off your computer, do not turn off your computer, all data will be lost.
I had that happen to me I was telling you about last week. I was on my computer, I laptop at home, not at the office here, and I got that black screen, it popped up over top of everything, and it just said, don't touch this or your data will be lost. And I was like, forget that, and I just hit back out of it. But it sounds like you did not back out of it.
No, I did not back out of it, because I'm not as tech savvy as I used to be. I'll freely admit that. And working on the laptop, I was working in accounts that I only have access to through my laptop, because my older desktop does not allow it. Anyway, that being said, I called the number, which is supposedly a Microsoft number, and a young lady answered the phone, and it was pretty obvious she was not from the United States.
Wow.
But she helped me get to the point to where we could turn off the strident alarm. And then
the alarm was making noise doo doo, what did it sound like?
It was almost like a siren. It was almost like a siren. Very strident, very intrusive.
Okay.
And it made me extremely nervous, which is exactly what they want you to be. They want to make you extremely nervous and upset you, which that's what happened. And so, following her instructions, once I called the phone number on there and following her instructions, she pointed me to a point to where she loaded, some people call it PC Anywhere, but what it is it allows an outside party to have access to your computer.
And she asked you, do you mind if I have access to your computer?
She said, do you mind, because we need to run these diagnostics to find out what these viruses are that you have on your computer. So following her instructions and then clicking on the prompts on the laptop, she was able to have access to my computer. We went to the :/prompt, which is where you can run hand-typed diagnostics, and she typed in her diagnostics and ran a scan, if you will.
Wow.
And this scan showed up that I supposedly had child pornography from some website in China.
Wow.
And I was that the United States Department of whatever was going to be knocking on my door and arresting me for child pornography. And so from there, she supposedly connected me to the Chase Fraud Department.
Okay, so they went from PC scanners for Microsoft to Chase Fraud. Okay. She was going to transfer you there?
She transferred me to that, and of course...
How did she know you had Chase?
That's a good question.
Okay.
That's a good question. I think
when she scanned your PC?
When she scanned my laptop, she saw that I had the Chase website. And so it progressed that this young man, whose name was, I guess, Adam.
Did he have an accent as well?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, it was obvious that these people, and they were young people.
Okay.
Or they sounded young. It was obvious that they were not from the United States.
Okay. Like Middle Eastern? Or?
It could have been Indian, it could have been Pakistan, it could have been Azerbaijan, it could have been any of that.
I'm sorry, but I mean, I know what I know exactly.
It's a boiler room full of people, and this is what they do all day.
And they
scam people.
Wow. And so they took you to the fraud chase department. And
he said, okay, you have $13,000, or no, it was whatever, however much it turned out to be. It was pretty obvious that they had seen the amount of money that I had in my bank account, available cash reserve.
Wow.
And then my investment portfolio.
They were able to see that as well?
They were able to see it, but not access it.
Thank God.
So they said, okay, well, the first thing you need to do is you need to wire transfer X number of funds out of your bank account to this other place, because that is going to take care, start the process. Let me be very clear.
Okay.
Because this is a progression of steps that they want you to go through.
So this is the first step.
The first step was to go to my bank, consolidate 2 of my savings account in the amount of $18,000, and wire transfer that money to an account somewhere in Kentucky, Tennessee, one of these places, and it was a Wells Fargo bank account
that you had to transfer the money from.
It to. So when I walked into the bank, consolidated those savings accounts, and withdrew that money and wire transferred, it made it a legal transaction because I, as the account holder, did it.
Went to the bank and did it.
Went to the bank and did it. So there was no, at that particular juncture, there was no particular legal recourse against these scammers because I, as the account holder, did it.
So, and I thank you for sharing that. And that made the sense because I was like, oh, was there anything you could do about it? But no, because you physically went and you're literally just following their instructions. But let me back out. The threat was that the FBI was going to knock at your door and you were going to get arrested for some sort of child pornography that was supposedly on your computer that you knew nothing about.
Absolutely.
Right.
Absolutely.
And just so to be clear, the only thing what were you thinking, the thought process, aside from, were you thinking, I don't know if this is on my computer or if this ever got on my computer, but I definitely don't want to be, or what was the fear that that you felt like, what, initially? I'm just trying to see that would make you get up and follow their instructions.
Well, first of all, they set me up by this very strident alarm that unnerved me. Then, of course, once the supposed diagnostics were run, scan diagnostic, whatever you want to call it, was run, the idea that child pornography, and I'm sensitive to that.
Yes.
Child pornography, that I would be involved in anything related to child pornography was very unnerving.
Yes.
So it was a process of keeping me totally off balance, totally unnerved, totally untrusting of my usual instincts, because that's the plan.
Right.
Is to literally knock me off my feet as far as my instincts were concerned.
Yeah.
Because anyway, to continue, this was the first day. This was November the 19th. Now, the morning of November the 20th, it started all over again with them calling me saying, okay, there is an additional $40,000 that we need because it's going to, again, you're going to be arrested for this child pornography. So go to your bank, get $40,000 out of your home equity line of credit.
They knew?
They knew. And
wow.
So I went to my normal Chase Bank branch. And at this particular juncture, they were pretty sure that I was being scammed, but I was so unnerved and so overwrought that I did not listen to them. So kudos to the staff of Chase Bank for saying, Mrs. Bateman, are you sure you're not being scammed? Are you sure you're not being scammed? But what they also added to the mix, and this is something else, that do not trust the people at your bank because they are being investigated by the FDIC. Do not trust the people at your branch bank. That's what
they told you?
Yes, do not trust the people at your branch bank because they are being investigated for fraud at your branch bank. So that measure of trust that I had with the staff and management at my branch, my Chase branch, was shattered at that particular moment because they had me so overwrought and so upset that I just absolutely stopped thinking straight.
And you are educated.
Yes, ma'am.
Right?
College degree.
College degree. Made a fantastic life for yourself.
Exactly.
And here you are, I mean, and you're fallen victim to a scam, and they've now made you distrust the folks that you usually work with.
People that I have had relationship with since I moved into that neighborhood in 1997.
Because in the back of your mind, all you could think about is, I've done something wrong by engaging or having this type of photography or that wasn't even real on your computer.
Exactly.
But you just wanted to clean up the mess. Just before you go on, because I want to, so that's so wild. So now we're on day 2. Day 1 is where you take the first $13,000.
It was $18,000,
$18,000.
And it was wire transferred to a bank in, I want to say Kentucky. I don't remember.
And then they call you back. How was that first night falling asleep knowing you sent that kind of money out?
Not well.
Okay.
Not well at all. Again, the people at the branch bank were pretty sure what was happening, but they could not convince me that it was a scam. And so
go ahead.
The second day dawned, I got up, the phone call started, you need to go do this. I went to my normal branch bank, and the branch manager said, Mrs. Bateman, I cannot give you cash money. I will give you a cashier's check but I will not give you cash money. And so,
Oh, they wanted you to get cash money?
they wanted me to get cash money.
Oh.
So when I've been writing down phone numbers and names as this was going on.
Okay.
And so I had phone numbers and names, and I called the phone number that had been given to me for this Adam from Chase Fraud Department, Christopher
Wow.
Adam.
So you're thinking you're talking to Chase Fraud.
I think I'm talking to Chase
Oh
Fraud.
my goodness. Okay.
And so he said, no, I can't take a cashier's check. I can't do a cashier's check. So I went to a second branch, Chase branch, and they did give me the $20,000 in cash from my home equity line of credit. Again, they said, Mrs. Bateman, are you sure you're not being scammed?
Wow.
I had been given a script. This was the third thing that
they did. Oh, you had a script?
They had given me a script on what I was supposed to tell the bank about why I was getting this money out of the bank.
What did the script say, please?
The script said that I was having contract work done, and that was partially true.
That was partially true, yeah.
Earlier in 2025, I did have contract work done, and I did use monies from my home equity line of credit to pay my contractors.
Right.
But it was a check transaction coming out of my checking account rather than a direct draw to the contractor from my home equity line of credit. That being said, I gave them the script, and again, both of the ladies at both of the staff.
They've heard this before, I'm sure.
I'm sure they have. Mrs. Bateman, are you sure you're not being scammed? No, I'm paying my contractor. He wants to pay his workers cash money because it's Thanksgiving and they can have their holiday.
Wow.
Again, something very dear to my heart is making sure that people can be with their families and have a nice holiday, because this was just a week before Thanksgiving.
Yes.
So I did get the $20,000. Our next process was to go find cryptocurrency machine, which he sent me over to a place in Dallas, which happened to be a Shell service station off of Midway Road in Dallas that had a cryptocurrency machine.
Like an ATM?
It's kind of like an ATM, and I stood there and fed $20,000 cash into that cryptocurrency machine.
Wow.
Yes. And when that was done, another phone call. We're talking at least over the 2 days that this was going, at least a dozen phone calls. But another phone call happened, and he said, okay, you need to find another Chase branch and get another $20,000.
Oh, they were trying to get that original $40,000.
They are trying to get the original. So I go to the Chase Bank at Frankfurt in Dallas, and at that particular time, the first Chase branch had already flagged my account with fraud.
Thank God. So the real Chase Bank.
The real Chase Bank had already said, this lady is being scammed.
They knew.
Stop. Don't let her have any more money.
Right.
And so
I am so glad that someone at least said something.
Manager at the Chase Bank sat me down, handed me a bottle of water, and said, take a deep breath. Mrs. Bateman, what is going on? We think you're being scammed. And of course, by that particular time, I realized, yes, I have been scammed.
Oh my goodness, it's so emotional to me. And I'm listening to this story because you're one of my clients for many, many years. And I feel horrible that I couldn't be there to protect you. But I'm so glad that there are other people who are looking. And yes, I am emotional about it because I know you, I know how intelligent you are, I know how much you care for others, and just to hear that you went through this, it really just pains me. So he sat you down, he said have some water, and this is when it first dawns on you. Is it at this point that it dawns on you? And this is are we on day 2 or 3
We
now?
are now on November 20th.
Okay, the
This
second
is
day.
November
Mhm.
20th.
But after going to the first bank, after doing the wire, after grabbing extra money, after feeding money into a cryptocurrency machine, and now going to try to get some more money.
Mm-hmm.
And finally, it clicks.
Mm-hmm.
Tell me
Fine.
more.
Well, at that particular point, he had sat down and he said, all right, I am going to open up a case with our Chase Security Department, Global Security,
Mhm.
and we are going to start a case looking into this. Of course, I am a copious note taker, so
Yes.
I had my notes with the phone numbers and the names and everything on there. And
luckily you had information.
Yes, and so
That's wonderful.
He started the process of opening a case with Chase Global Security. He said, unfortunately, your accounts are frozen right now, so you will not be able to get any money out of
Good.
any account.
Good.
You will be able to use your credit card if you need groceries or some kind of essential expenditure. But as far as being able to access any more funding from your bank accounts, checking or savings, no, you will not be able to. You won't be able to use your debit card. And so it was like, okay. So I got home and I called. He started that process. He gave me the case number. So I had my Chase Global Security case number. I got home and I called the Plano Police Department because I live in Plano, Texas. And I requested assistance from the Plano Police Department Cyber Fraud Division.
Okay.
This was a Thursday evening. They sent out 2 officers to take the information from me, and they gave me a case number, a Plano Police Cyber Division case number, and they said a detective will get in contact with you about your case.
Okay.
But we will take this information and turn it in. And it took a couple of days, but eventually go ahead.
Were you still getting phone calls from the people?
He was still trying to call me.
Okay, but by this time you had cut him off?
Yeah, I had blocked the number.
Okay.
Yeah, I was still getting phone calls, but I had blocked the number.
Okay. And then the detective, okay, I'm sorry, I just wanted to know that from that point where they just, did they just leave you alone? Okay.
They were and I'll tell you something, the other day I got what looked like a text from them of some kind of payment something, and I immediately deleted it.
Right.
I did not open it up. I did not open up the attachment.
There's no telling what kind of information that they have
Exactly.
from your computer.
Exactly.
Because now they've downloaded all your information.
Exactly. So I wound up taking my laptop to Best Buy, and they completely erased all the viruses and everything. So I have, for the moment, a clean laptop. But getting back to where I was with the Plano the police department.
Yes.
The detective called me. I also got a call from Chase Global Securities that said, we are talking to the Plano Police Department, but we do advise you to speak to them directly.
Okay.
And so I have my case number and I have the detective's name, and I called her and I spoke with her, and she said, any information that you have, any information at all, phone numbers, names, anything you recognize would be helpful. So I turned all that information over to her. And of course, the Chase Bank itself opened up a file in an attempt to see if any monies could be recouped from the wire transfer, because it went from Chase to Wells Fargo. Okay, unfortunately, as soon as the wire transfer funds hit, it was immediately withdrawn. Okay. And so there was no recouping of funds there. And as far as the cryptocurrency is concerned, there will be no recouping of the funds there. So essentially $38,000. I was scammed out of $38,000.
Wow. And the reason that I wanted to, and I can't tell you how many people this is gonna help. It definitely helped me because I got that same alert last week, and had I not just shut off my computer, there's no telling what they would have told me or what could have happened. And so I never want to say it couldn't happen to me, because it literally could have happened to me. It's just I've hear about scams. I'm a person who's in tune with, I don't like elder abuse. I don't like, senior scams. I don't like real estate scams. And so because I'm so in tune with that, that's the only reason that I just said, oh, hogwash. If you're going to shut down my computer, shut it down. Because like you, I say, hey, computers are inexpensive, so whatever you do. And then I also, one of the bigger things, I don't even let any diagnostic company, I very rarely let just Ring Central, my phone, computer, anybody access my computer and just have free range of my computer, because we know that they're stealing the information off of your computer. And so while you're able to talk about this now, do you feel any kind of anxiety with other information that could possibly be on your computer, or just like unsafe, or how has this affected you?
Well, it certainly shattered my sense of security. It has been a little over 2 months since it happened, and the first couple of weeks I really did not feel secure even in my own house.
Wow.
Because it's a violation.
Right. Yeah.
It's a violation
Theft.
of my personal information. It's a violation of my personal beliefs, my personal security. It really does made a difference on how I view the world. And unfortunately, when they touch on sensitive topics that affect us all of us have something that we are really sensitive about. And child pornography happens to be a very sensitive issue with me. So it has made a difference in how I view the world. Now, I have since come to believe that however sad this event was, I have learned something from it. And so I am
$38,000 lesson,
$38,000 lesson.
And now you're sharing it, but it's not going to go in vain, because now you're sharing it with other people so they can know what to look out for.
Exactly. When your instincts kick in, listen to them. When someone, like the young people at the bank, when someone says to you, are you sure you're not being scammed? Share with them what's going on, because they can probably tell you, yes, Mrs. Bateman, you are being scammed. And that can stop it right there, because the next person that gets hit by these people,
and it's going on every day,
and it's happening every 3 minutes. Every 3 minutes, someone is being scammed. And unfortunately, there are people that lose everything when they are scammed. They not just lose their bank accounts, they lose their homes.
Yes.
It's not a nice situation. But I do want to say this. I was lucky enough that, yes, I lost $38,000, but I was lucky enough that I can still take care of myself.
Absolutely.
And that is a blessing. But again, don't be afraid to ask questions. It's a laptop. If you lose your data, so what? You can recoup your data, you can get a new laptop. You can't recoup that total sense of security when someone has done this to you. It is a violation, and it will take time to get over it. I've had lovely people help me and work with me and assure me that they are going to do everything they can to help me with this. The sad part is this is the job of these scammers. They work in a boiler room full of 50 or 60 people that don't do anything but monitor computer addresses, and then they go in and they do these things.
Wow. I thank you so much for your willingness to share this.
You're welcome.
It's just surprising to me. One of the things, I want to thank you for trusting me with the story. I want to thank you for trusting me for trusting me generally. As an attorney to take a look at your estate each year on an annual basis and kind of tee things up. And never once did I think that was going to be the story that we were going to have.
Mm-hmm.
But I appreciate you so much, Karen, for your willingness to share this with others, because we have to be aware in order to stop the madness.
Mm-hmm.
And while you could afford it and they didn't bankrupt you, there's plenty of people out here being
Absolutely.
bankrupted. And so
Yes.
thank you so much for
Thank
sharing that.
You are so
I love
welcome.
you so much. Thank you, Karen.
You're welcome.